from the beginning to set that platform. I think we're in for a cracker here, Bill.
Well, interestingly, in the warm-up, Luke Thompson, of course, has made known his plans to move on at the end of this season. He's off to the NRL, and he got a great reception from the Saints supporters when he came out for the warm-up. Is that going to be on his mind in this game?
No, he's made his decision, and that's it. Now Saints know that they've got to get on it. Look, in the next few years, there's going to be a changing of the guard at St Helens. You've got James Roby, who's 34, Zeb Taylor, who's 35, LMS, that's 34, Dominic Perry, 31, and the man who's been injured, 30, Alex Walmsley. So there's going to be some new players. There's going to be the introduction of the next batch of young lads, and it's going to be interesting to see what Matty Lees, Jack Ashworth do. We've seen what they can do from the bench, the impact that they give. Well, Matty Lees has got to do from the start here.
Well, the referee is Chris Kendall. He's got us underway here at the Hallowell-Jones Stadium. Saints have first touch of the ball, and Warrington, despite the fact that Chris Hill isn't there to lead them, and what a leader he is, picking up a 3-game ban for that high tackle on Sam Powell in round 1. They showed great tenacity and great determination, even when they were down to 12, when they were down to 11 as well, so they can take a lot from that opening round defeat.
Yeah, gutsy the way that they stood firm, they really ripped in for each other. Obviously missing Chris Hill, so Joe Philbin, the man who got rave reviews, one of the only few players last year in the Great Britain shirt. He starts tonight. He made 2 appearances for Great Britain on the bench, normally known as impact player, but see what he can do.
Farge went for a 40-20. It was well dealt with by Jack Welsby. First touch of the game, brave as well. Ashton collecting that ball. And Warrington get the first touch.
Look at that line speed from St Helens. When you listen to the noises coming out of the camp, Christian Wolf really making his side focus on both sides of the ball. Look at the line speed, good nomination, contact and control, although Joe Philbin, I think that's one of the reasons Chris Hill not being there will affect them, but Philbin getting a start's a plus for me.
Ben Murdoch-Masilla and Mark Percival was equal to the challenge then. When you think what he did to George Burgess, I should imagine there weren't 2 people just twitching slightly when Big Ben starts motoring towards them. Just to reiterate, you're just joining us, late change for St Helens, which has caused a bit of disruption with Alex Walmsley pulling out at the very last minute, and 25-year-old Joe Batchelor, there is Alex Walmsley on the sidelines, 25-year-old Joe Batchelor called into the Saints 17. He'll be on the bench. It'll be just his 5th appearance for the club, so that is a mighty ask. Here is Luke Thompson.
Well, they won't go away from that decent goal forward, the plays that they've got in the ranks. Both sides just feeling each other out. Big play for Saints going down the short side. It's worked well for them over the last couple of years.
There is Bentley again getting the starting nod from new coach Christian Wolf. Crossfield kick, and it's well claimed by Gelling. Making his home debut, Anthony Gelling. Here goes Charnley.
Well, that'll be a good battle between Gelling and Percival. Over on Saints' left-hand side under pressure. Theo Fives when he kicked that ball. Gelling gets away from the tackle, doesn't he?
Did well there, escaped the clutches of the first defender. Here is Ashton. They've got to keep an eye on him. He is a very pacey runner, very elusive runner as well. Curry now plays the ball just inside his own half. Chris Hill having to sit this game out then. Joe Philbin getting a start, normally effective off the bench, and first penalty of the game.
And you could say the same, Joe Philbin and Ben Murdoch-Masilla both used to fabulous effect by Warrington from the bench. I think that's a sign from Steve Price. He wants to start the game quick. He wants to, when you listen to him before the game, he talked about the first 25 minutes with St Helens. I think that's the reason the team selection is as it is.
Right, Warrington in possession. Quick update from Jenna on the Alex Walmsley situation.
Yeah, as we said, a huge early blow for St Helens. I spoke to the St Helens physio. They didn't give me much, but they did confirm that in the warm-up, Alex Walmsley has pulled a muscle, and they don't look very happy about it.
Well, they wouldn't be, given the importance of the big man to their go-forward. Started the season in impressive form.
A good defensive stint there. Gelling in contact. He's hit perhaps a little bit before he catches the ball. Percival up quick on the centre note. Timing is good. Mistake is made and St Helens forced the issue.
Gelling gets a pat on the head from Blake Austin. Blake Austin just turned 29, one of a number of birthday boys in these two camps. Blake Austin 29 last weekend. Ben Murdoch-Masila is 29 tomorrow. Darrell Clark is his birthday on Monday. He'll be 27. It's Rick Astley's birthday today as well.
Well done. Do you know the best thing about Rick Astley?
You're going to tell us.
He's never going to give you up.
You've been working on that. You've been working on that all afternoon since I told you.
Run around.
Since I told you it was Rick Astley's birthday, you've been desperately trying to think of a Rick Astley song.
He's been searching on the internet his best hits.
Yeah, there was one.
In the meantime, St Helens in possession. And fierce defence led by Ratchford with Jason Clark there as well. Oh, big hit! Philbin.
Joe Philbin.
And it's bounced up for Austin. Austin booms the ball wide. It's with Tom Lynham who cuts infield. Lynham looking to straighten up now.
Well, Joe Philbin, whether he's carrying the ball or defending, he makes you feel uncomfortable. Put pressure on Matty Lees, who rushed that pass then.
Oh, and Saints try to respond.
Look at this under pressure. Oh. He's already caught one Matty Lees by the looks of him.
Stepping in for Alex Wormsley to the starting lineup, Matty Lees into the cauldron. That is Warrington against St Helens. That's a knock-on.
Gelling with another mistake. There's the blood from Matty Lees before he had that heavy contact from Joe Philbin. It's full-blooded, isn't it? Smothering defence from St Helens, and Anthony Gelling, who's a quality player, there's no doubt about that. Yet to find the form that he had as a Wigan player. No witness, were desperate to keep hold of him, but Warrington ultimately got his signature for 2020.
Blood all over the place. Mike Cooper is bleeding. I suspect, well, there was a clash of heads between Matty Lees. Now then, the shot clock has... Louis McCarthy-Scarborough is getting taped as well. And the referee Chris Kendall is, I think, saying he's got to leave the field.
Well, he doesn't know where the dugout is.
No, he's just going off the field. He has to leave now. By the play, ball is in play now. He can come back onto the field.
So Louis McCarthy-Scarborough returns. Saints have a full complement, so eventful start. Warrington are offside. And Saints will get the penalty.
He was working with the players then. He's saying that you've got to make sure you're back. Just a couple of them creeping offside then. Trying to slow Saints down. Everyone knows how quick and dominant they are, especially around that ruck area. That's not even talking about the speed they've got out wide.
So a Saints penalty, which allows them to test this Warrington defence really for the first time. Here is Thompson, three of them to stop him, and already they're closing on that Warrington Wolves line. McCarthy-Scarborough builds up a head of steam and takes them closer still. The post there just at the top of the picture. A little dart. Ashworth. And they're that close. Bentley's pass. Here is Lomax now. Ooh, that looked high from Ben Murdoch-Masila, but the Saints fans didn't like it, and it was high. The referee gives the penalty.
It was inside defence, wasn't it? Ben Murdoch-Masila working hard. You can see him right on his toes there as he makes contact, hits the shoulder, and ends up around the head. A little bit unfortunate there. A big man on a little man. First, well, that angle tells a slightly different story, although the referee's blown the whistle, give the penalty away, and Saints get 6 more tackles at the line of the Wolves.
Okay, let's go. Turn back on. On the line. On the line.
Warrington just setting off a bit too soon. Referee calls them back, and in they charge again, the Saints. Bang in front of those posts. Their supporters behind that try line. Fage. Peru. 10 metres out or so. Change of direction from Bentley. It's back to Louis McCarthy-Scarborough, who again winds up And again, Saints get the penalty.
He was calling Jason Clark, the referee. Chris Kendall saying that you're offside, telling him to keep out of the play. And Saints just picked him out straight away. Clever play from Saints. Here they go again.
Keep the pressure on. Zebtaya now, try scorer in that round 1 win against Salford last week, Zeb. Lees now. Matty Lees stopped by Darryl Clark and Mike Cooper. Bentley keeping it simple. Farge likewise. Lomax on, the ball is knocked on. Wellesby couldn't take the pass.
Well, Warrington are watching what Johnny Lomax is doing. He positions himself on the left side of the ruck. He goes over to the right. He makes the numbers, and then the pass to Wellesby just behind the youngster. Virtually impossible. Anyone jams in here like King's going to do. He's putting pressure on the youngster. Makes it really difficult for him to take.
I thought he was immense last week, Toby King. Warrington defeated so many, I think probably an hour plus, down to 12 men. And for 10 minutes down to 11 men, Toby King, strong and resilient in defence. He makes good decisions. When the ball's in the air, he gets forward and puts pressure on the receiver.
Warrington with a pretty miserable record against St Helens. They haven't won a home meeting with the Saints since May 2017. Ryan Atkins got 2 of their 7 tries in a 40 points to 18 victory. Not so sure it would be that easy tonight. If Warrington are to win, it's going to take a massive effort, but this absence of Wormsley is a big blow. Warrington get another penalty.
Well, the second penalty that Warrington got, and both penalties have been because of strong running from Joe Philbin. Coaches years ago used to talk about winning the floor. You can't do that these days. You've got to make sure you win the contact above, take them to ground and peel off and work with the referee.
Cooper is lifted into the air, didn't like it. Now here's Blake Austin and Stefan Ratchford. Ratchford gets the pass away, and Ashton does well there to get out of trouble. Gets a sort of pass away, and it's Ben Curry who picks it up. Lost momentum there. Here's Philbin now trying to regain it, but there's a wall of red V in front of him.
Well, attracting 4 defenders. If they're going to get a quicker play of the ball again, LMS really working hard on slowing him down.
King. Cut down. Here's Ratchford now. Jason Clark, until he came to Warrington. The one-club man for South Sydney, all his career there. But enjoying a swan song here. The kick from Ratchford. Magama comes for it and claims it. Playing on the wing tonight, Kevin Magama. Got a couple of tries against Salford. And in fact, he ended up on the wing once Lachlan Coote had gone off because of Coote going off and Wellesby going to full back.
Well taken from the Fijian captain. No pressure on him, knowing that he's the one who's got to come up with it. Johnny Lomax again with that show and go.
Went to the challenge of Ben Murdoch-Masilla.
All he knows he's going to be under pressure. He's a player that goes at the defensive line. He's going to feel some heat.
Zebtaya. Cook Islander plays the ball just inside his own half, and Percival crosses into Warrington territory. It's with Theo Farge now. Farge, little dink over the top. Ashton fields it. Scampering runner, Maddie Ashton.
Well, the crowd seems to get excited whenever he's got the ball. It seems that anything can happen, and well, the Warrington faithful have only seen him play once. They're getting the offload here. This is what worked for him last week, like Barry said.
Lynham popping that ball out to Toby King, but they've gone backwards. They're going backwards now. Gelling, a little skip from him, a bit of freestyle stuff from this Warrington side. Haven't made any yardage. Philbin will try and do something about that. Philbin starting tonight in the absence of Hill. Here's Blake Austin. Austin, a good deep kick.
That's a tremendous kick, that. A good set of possession with Warrington. 2 offloads, the first 2 offloads of the game. And look at that for a chase. Gelling makes the initial contact, but the defensive line is set from Warrington.
14 minutes gone then here at the Hallowell Jones Stadium. 0-0 the scoreline. And not much sign of that being broken. The Saints could have popped over a penalty, but decided to run it.
The Saints are a team that like to just create their own chances, don't they? They lose the first player when it was a one-on-one.
Good tackle that was. Darryl Clark
underneath the ball from Clark, picks him up and drives him back. Luke Thompson.
Percival cuts back infield, but cuts back straight into the clutches of Ben Murdoch-Masila.
He's doing some big challenges over there, isn't he, Ben Murdoch-Masila?
Lomax hoists the kick, and Ashton is underneath it. Down on his knees when he got that ball. Own debut in Super League for the fullback, 21-year-old Matty Ashton.
Well, Josh Charnley, a few more first-team appearances than this young fullback.
It's a good phase of the game, innit? Teams going set for set, the arm wrestle, good strong defence, good line speed, and off the back of it, a kick and chase and a challenge to the opposition.
Charnley's got a bang on the head in the meantime. Seems to be okay. Some sting in this defence from both sides. They're both really up quickly, really fierce. Ratchford plays the ball. Austin again looks for another deep kick, but
another fantastic kick.
Couldn't take it.
Well, the spiral on that kick and the way it just dropped short, even though Jack Wells bit, it looks like he's made a mistake. I guarantee you that is the quality of the kick rather than the way that he's caught that ball. It just moved ever so slightly. It meant it hit his hands rather than his forearms, and it propelled forward. Wonderful kick from Blake Austin.
The quality and the speed of the defensive line. Your kicking game has got to be absolutely bang on to get you out of trouble, and that's exactly what Warrington had then with Blake Austin.
Well, that error by the Saints fullback has given Warrington an opportunity here. They are the closest they've been so far to this St Helens try line. It's Clark going across the field, and then Ratchford tries and straightens up. 2 tackles gone. Here's Cooper now. Cooper to Blake Austin. Long ball finds Charnley. And Charnley can't make any progress. Percival with the tackle. Gelling, Austin, Cooper into the middle of the field to Jason Clark. Very reliable player, Clark. Missed only 2 games last season out of 34. Here is Austin now. Austin trying to put the step on Peru, but Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook comes in to make the tackle, and Austin stays down and gets a penalty.
He catches one there, doesn't he?
He's got a massive left foot step, and we saw how good he was last year when he's in that open play. You can see he just catches him over the top LMS. The referee awards the penalty. But even when he played for Great Britain, Blake Austin out of position, we saw him on the wing. He ran as hard as any forward carrying the ball. That was a different side of the game. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic. He's not bothered about worrying the tackle near the line as well.
No, and it's because he takes it around that middle, around those defenders that are 1, 2, 3 away from the ruck. 17 minutes we've got. Understandably, some of those bigger forwards just breathing in a little bit deeper.
I hope they brought plenty of strapping with them, because it's being used liberally so far in the opening minutes here. Mike Cooper's strapped up. Blake Austin started strapped up. Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook's getting more put on.
We're going to end up needing fresh shirts as well, Bill. Once the blood gets on the shirts, we could hear the referee on our mics asking for Warrington to do something about all the blood. Mike Cooper, the player that the referee spoke about.
Well, Warrington have decided just to calm things down, just to try and get points on the board after the hurly-burly of the first 18 minutes here. And it's Ratchford who will do that.
Well, then points just settle the nerves, Bill. The fans want points. They want them to get the 2 valuable league points against the nearest and dearest. At the end of the 80 minutes, it's been an aggressive start to the game, hasn't it? Wow, ferocious. ripping into each other. Both sets of players aiming up and trying to entertain the fans and the viewers back at home.
So first points go to Stefan Ratchford, his 4th goal of the season. You think this has been lively? Wait till you see tomorrow night with Hull FC taking on Hull Kingston Rovers. Round 2, and we've got the Hull derby tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena for that one. Both sides off to a winning start, so they'll be full of confidence.
Thunderous charge, wasn't it, from Philbin? Off the back of that, Ben Curry had a look at the short side. Look at them. He was impressive last week, Jason Clark. You've mentioned about his dependability, his consistency. Vital member of this Warrington side.
Here is Ashton now. A sort of stuttering run and likely to put a step on an opponent at any time. Matty Ashton. He was the only Warrington player to pick up a man of steel point in the game against Wigan last week. Ashton, Warrington have spilled the ball though. Saints have it back just inside their own half.
Well, might keep one of the best ones getting the offload away, just makes that mistake. Saints get the ball on halfway now. Just creeped into Warrington's half. Look, he's got 3 players in looking for Clark. Can't get that clean offload away though.
Saints have the tendency to punish opponents who are casual in possession. So Warrington have got to be on the alert as Luke Thompson charges the ball in. On his way to Canterbury, following in the footsteps of James Graham. Here's Zebtea in possession. 20 metres out for the Saints. 4 tackles gone. And Warrington almost back on their own try line as Lees plays the ball. Here's Lomax. Lovely dummy from Lomax, but he couldn't get the final yard.
But that's all he needs, doesn't he? He needs someone on his shoulder, someone out the back. He's got that show and go. So next time he's got the option, he's got 3 options really, he's the 3rd one. That's what I like from him, Johnny Lomax, and that I like seeing him in the halfbacks with his hands on the ball, exactly the same as Stefan Ratchford for Warrington. 2 valuable players.
Warrington fans appealing for a penalty, and then good run from Gelling. Getting away for the first time tonight, Anthony Gelling.
Big meters.
Then losing the ball, and he gets the penalty.
Big meters from the former Wigan centre. Used his footwork, accelerated through the gap. He wasn't worried about finding a pass. He wanted to make sure he kept hold of possession. And St Helens couldn't do anything else, really. The line was busted. The arm of Jack Welsby was all around that ball.
So Anthony Gelling, who can be a real jack-in-the-box when he's in the mood. He started a bit erratically tonight. That was probably the first time he'd had a chance.
Well, expect the unexpected from him, don't you?
Did a great interview with Jackson Hastings at the start of the season on Sky Sports. A little kick ahead. Charnley will chase it. And Osborne's lost. Oh, and Austin couldn't quite get there in time. Race couldn't keep a hold of it. Steve Price rues a missed opportunity.
A kick on the first tackle, wasn't it, from Blake Austin, and did his best to chase hard. It almost ended up in the hands of Warrington Wolves.
Josh Charnley makes a play for it, knocks the ball forward, so Saints will get the ball here on the 20. Steve Price thinking that maybe it was going to be their ball, that Saints had knocked it out. It wasn't, it was Josh Charnley.
The game is just tilting towards Warrington Wolves here. When they've got possession, they're more methodical. When they're defending, they look keen, they look eager, they're looking for work, and that's a really challenging kick, even though it's on the first tackle. St Helens having to work hard to get up the other end of the field now.
Luke Thompson plays the ball. Lees now. Ships it on. And Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook is surrounded by Warrington defenders inside their half. Here is Lomax now. Lomax to Zebtea, and Zebtea has lost the ball.
He's looking to pass the ball back inside to James Bentley. Ben Murdoch-Masila, he's targeting Johnny Lomax. Every time Johnny Lomax gets the ball, look, the pressure he's got, the footwork from Zebtea, gets his arms free. Bentley's there on his inside. Always looking to play, always dangerous, the Saints.
I'm going to credit Blake Austin again. We saw that when Saints had the ball near Warrington's line, Johnny Lomax was tackled by Blake Austin, and on that occasion, facing a much bigger man, just makes it that awkward for Zeb Taylor that he loses possession. Not just with the ball, but without the ball. That's a world-class player when he's on his best.
Warrington could do with a win, you know, here tonight. Having lost in round one, that's 16 points, 10 defeat at Wigan, was their 9th defeat in their last 10 matches in Super League and the playoffs. So since Wembley, and that's going back to last August, Warrington's form
hasn't been good enough for them. No, it hasn't been good. Not what we saw at the beginning of last year. They were really impressive till midway through the season. They go for a long kick here, but they are an attacking side. They are a defensive side this year. Steve Price has done a real good job with them. The way that they are playing, the way that they're attacking, and the way that they're communicating with each other. Everyone's putting their hand up to do a bit of work. Really impressed with them last week, and impressed with them in the opening 24 minutes of this game.
And the offloads again, 7 offloads from Warrington Wolves. And the last time they offloaded it, they got a penalty off the back of it. What can they offer up to Saints here?
Cooper is turned onto his back. Oh, Blake Austin, a little spin and almost got away. It was Zeb Taylor who snaked out an arm to clutch Austin and stop his progress. Now here's Cooper, straightens up again. Brave from the front rower, Mike Cooper. Runs into Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, who makes the tackle. Philbin spins, gets the pass away. Here is Ratchford now. Ratchford, little short pass from him to Ashton. Ashton, though, couldn't make any progress. Jason Clark now, hands off, gets the pass away to Ratchford. 4 tackles gone. Ratchford trying to find a way through, and he's still going, is Stephen Ratchford. 5 Saints there to stop him. Clark. Darryl Clark is over and has got the first try of the game, or has he? Chris Kendall will go to the video ref, but Darryl Clark saw an opportunity. The referee thinks it's no try.
Well, he's explosive, isn't he, Darryl Clark? He had 4 players on the left-hand side, so the defenders on the right-hand side for Saints were panicking a bit. So not only have you got Darryl Clark to contend with from dummy half, they've also got to watch the men on the outside of the ruck. He goes to get down as quick as he can. He's pushing Dominic Peru. He's pushing Dominic Peru back. He gets rid of him. He gets over the line. Does he manage to get the ball on the ground?
I think he has, Tez. His last tackle, he's got a right to go at the line. It's gone up as no try. Darryl Clark, who will have done this particular skill 100, 1,000, 10,000 times in his career. My gut feeling was he got it down, but I don't think there's a massive amount of evidence.
Is that the ball there, just near the pink?
I think it is.
Near the boot.
Near the pink boots of Peru.
Does the tip of the ball go down? But again, it's been sent up as a no try. So James Child will be having a little look. That looks as though it's up. So will you go with the referee, Chris Kendall, who sent it upstairs?
It's gone up as a no try. There isn't massive evidence to prove otherwise.
Darryl Clark, who got a try at Wembley, was man of the match in the win over Saints, hasn't got a try here tonight. Denied. Chris Kendall got it right.
Well, Darryl Clark, I felt certain he got that ball down, but you couldn't conclusively prove the live call of the ref, Chris Kendall. But again, putting pressure on their opponent's line. It's a good phase for Warrington, this.
That was good defence from Saints, wasn't it? I say, he's so dangerous from dummy half. Darryl Clark, 4 players around him, and they had everything to contend with, and they dealt with it.
So Saints escape almost having the first try, almost conceding the first try of the game, and it remains coming up to 27 minutes, 2-0 to Warrington in this clash between the Challenge Cup winners of 2019 and the league leaders and grand final winners, St Helens. Here is Lomax. It's the title that Warrington want. It's been a long, long wait for them for a championship title, and they're hoping that this could be their year. Fell away last season when it came to the playoffs, once they'd won that Challenge Cup. Fage with the kick. It's Charnley who fields it.
The pressure from Stefan Ratchford, all those little things make a difference. The fact that Ratchford gets out, doesn't give any think time, means that the ball is a bit of a scuffed attempt, and Josh Charnley and Warrington Wolves are approaching the 40-metre line now.
Toby King takes it over that line. And here's Tom Lynham. Lynham manages to offload to Darrell Clark.
10th offload that from Warrington Wolves. St Helens have only got one.
An indication of Warrington's approach here tonight. Jason Clark, Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook just swung out an arm.
He's clipped a few, hasn't he, in this game, Louis?
Might have even clipped Matty Lees.
Ashton has burst through the first line of defence. This is the pace that we were told about. He's got the pass away, and the referee says he was tackled. And after all that good work, Matty Ashton is penalised.
Too excited, wasn't he, the youngster? What about this? He goes hard at the line, gets rid of Ashford, gets rid of Bentley, powers his way through. He gets a bit carried away. The referee penalised him, saying that that tackle was complete. Well, that shows what a talent this young kid is.
So unfortunate, isn't it, for Matty Ashton? It's a big night, incidentally, for Rochdale Mayfield. Matty Ashton for Warrington Wolves, Jack Ashworth, and, of course, the man who came into the starting lineup, Matty Lees, all representing that club as juniors. Well done to Rochdale Mayfield.
Well, that was a warning for the Saints of the pace that this fullback for Warrington has. He got 30 tries in 25 Swinton appearances, and rapidly came to the attention of the Warrington club, and he's been thrown straight into the side this season by Steve Price. The ball's batted down, and Ratchford has it.
They're doing
a mess with the offload.
Yeah, they're doing a decent job. Like there's a couple of panic offloads from Saints, and that's because of the line speed from Warrington. You can see Ashworth trying to get the ball away to LMS, cleaning it, and LMS panicking under pressure.
Can Warrington capitalise now? Ben Murdoch-Masilla, another man who is, by all accounts, on his way out of the Warrington club come the end of the season, back to the NRL. That's yet to be confirmed, but it's a pretty strong rumour. Sitaleki Akwala off the bench and into action for Warrington, who are about 20 metres out and on the last, and Blake Austin hoists a kick into the corner. Magama comes for it and has lost it, and Lynham picks it up, and Warrington have a golden opportunity now. Akwala has put the ball down.
Dreadful mistake. He's all over the field, Blake Austin. He's not one of those halves that locks himself in, although he's defending on the right, and when everything is set, he takes his position on the right, but you see him pop up on the left, put in a kick, and if that pass is a touch softer and the hands of Akwala are a touch kinder, then at least they'll have a look at that line. What we got there, 30 minutes on the clock, and from 10 minutes to this point in time here, Warrington Wolves just keep knocking and knocking and knocking on the door.
Back for the original knock-on, head and feed then to Warrington, who have a great opportunity here. Half an hour gone. The mistake in the middle of the fields that's led to this Warrington possession. And it's Saints back on their own try line now as Jason Clark tries to get out of the clutches, and then a little dart and a little attempt, and it's Clark who has got the try at the second attempt. Darrell Clark, if at first you don't succeed, try again. He did just that, and he's got over the line for the Warrington Wolves. First try of the new campaign for the Dream Team hooker, Darrell Clark.
Well, Warrington, when they come into this game, they know that they've got to work harder than Saints, with the ball and without the ball. And they've done that. They're feeding off some mistakes, they're feeding off some penalties. The mistake here from Obama, he's under pressure though, isn't he, from King and from Ben Curry. They get the ball back, and Darrell Clark, like you said, if at first you don't succeed, He failed on the left side. He's gone over to the right-hand side. The power to get rid of Ashworth and just push him back and just knock him back onto his heels and get over for the try.
He senses, doesn't he, Jack Ashworth? He's not focused on me. He's late. He's not at a full scan of the situation. He's not at a full look at the landscape in front of him, Jack Ashworth. And smart rugby league player, opportunist. Dummy half runner that he is, Darrell Clark. Goes high, he goes over contact, gets the first try of the game. Good work from Toby King, putting pressure on Nguama over on the other side. They've worked hard for that try, haven't they? Half an hour in the making.
Ratchford will attempt to extend Warrington's advantage. He's got 335. He's missed it. 334, I was going to say. It's just a rarity, that, from Stephen Ratchford.
There you see Jack Ashworth. He's on the deck. He's not even facing the play of the ball. And Darrell Clark sees the opportunity, drives hard and gets the first try of the evening.
Lance Todd Trophy winner at Wembley last August against this St Helens side. So Percival restarts, and the first half hour of the first half has belonged really to Warrington. It's been a frantic game at times.
Well, they just need to make sure that they keep it simple. It's on the back of hard work.
Ben Murdoch and
Oh, he's hurt himself personally.
Second best man, Percival.
He's carrying his left arm. Yeah, sorry, Barry.
Look at this. This is good play, this.
Charnley. Percival's in trouble.
They've spotted that there's a problem with Percival, so they're attacking that side.
Gelling sweeps a pass across the field to Austin. Austin on to Ratchford, and Akuala straightens up into the middle of the field. Percival getting attention.
Just taking a look at him in the back play, Percival. He flings himself at his body. The thumbs up has gone to the sideline from the physio. They're lucky there, Warrington. They end up with that ball. I've seen those giving us a knock-on before.
That's the fifth tackle.
He's staying on.
Yeah, seems to have recovered. Ratchford hoists a high kick, maybe a little bit too short, and it bounces back into Ratchford's hands, still on the last, and gets the pass away to King, and King for Lynham. He's over the line. He's got the try. Lynham gets the try. Remarkable. The kick from Ratchford. He claimed it back, and Warrington managed to keep it alive. And Tom Lynham gets his first of the season, and 2 tries in 3 minutes after half an hour of attrition between these two sides. Warrington have struck with back-to-back tries.
Well, it's been a testing period for St Helens. Consistently challenged. Defence is broken, and as that kick goes high, Ben Curry, well, at first it comes off his chest. He manages to bat it back. I think they were lucky before. I think they were even luckier on that occasion, Warrington Wolves. But the old adage in rugby league is you play to the whistle. It's a high kick. It's batted back. Let's describe it as that, if I'm being kind, to Warrington Wolves. And from this point here, offload again. Beautifully summed up by Toby King. And even though there's an attempted tackle from Costello, he's too big and too strong, Tom Lynham.
Well, they kicked the ball to Nguama in the build-up to the first strike. Again, they kicked it to it this time. He didn't bother going up for it. And that is a nice soft offload. No panic in that pass from Stephen Ratchford. And good balance from Tom Lynham to recognise where he is on the field and get over for Steve Price's second try. Wow, he lives the games, doesn't he, Steve Price?
Tom Lynham's 149th career try. That's a prolific try scorer, Lynham. He's got 13 career hat-tricks. And Ratchford, he missed with his last kick at goal from that Darrell Clark try. That was a relatively easy one. This one wide out, and he's got it. It's a funny old game.
Well, Warrington are benefiting from all the hard work they've done in the opening 30 minutes. They've earned the field position, they're kicking on the front foot, they're in good ball areas, they're not having to bring the ball away, and when they are bringing the ball away from the try line, they're running with conviction, aren't they? They put pressure on Naguama, like I said, the last couple of times, a couple of errors.
12-0, Warrington lead.
The referee bringing it back. He was telling the St Helens side to wait. And I think it's Percival kicking the ball off. He either can't hear him or he's not listening to him.
So, for the first time since the game was kicked off, there's a bit of a hush, and you can hear yourself think, because it has been bonkers.
It's been brilliant.
To use a technical term.
Yeah, it's been exceptional, hasn't it? The build-up to the game, the atmosphere.
I think one of his fellow officials is just having audio adjustments.
Is it Jack Smith over on that side?
We're ready to go.
Using hand signals.
12-0 then, Warrington lead. That was the half-time score at Wembley when they lifted the Challenge Cup. Why are fans hoping that's a good omen then? Half-time approaching, and Warrington have had the better of this first 40 minutes.
Well, Matt Davis onto the field. Play really impressive. They look to shift the ball. Again, he knows that there's nothing on outside him. Blake Costin, he takes it himself.
Matt Davis making his 100th career appearance. 72 of those have been for the London Broncos. Originally from Leicester. Cooper onto Blake Costin. Austin runs into the clutches and out of the clutches of Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Ratchford again hoists the kick. That's a difficult. I thought I was going to go out on the full for a moment.
Well, if you're a Warrington player and you've got a teammate next to you, you just shout into him, it's yours. You don't want to get anywhere near this, and that was a brilliant kick, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Well,
the twists and the turns, and obviously on your TV screen it's hard to judge, but here we are live at the ground looking at those kicks.
10 seconds.
The hang time, the twist, the turn, the spiral.
Warrington then in charge so far. Christian Wolfe, he looked like the cat that had got the cream last week against Salford, didn't he, when they were running in 8 tries. It's a different prospect here tonight. This one a really tough battle, but that's what Saints expected. Oh, and Percival lost that ball.
Well, Alex Walmsley pulling out just before the game. I think Matt Percival will do very well to finish the game. Been watching him in the last set of 6. He's been really struggling. He come onto that ball, and he always does. Runs really hard. The man who he clashed with was Ben Murdoch-Masila before when he was trying to take him down. He runs straight into him when he has the ball. And again, he just pulls away from that play. In a bit of pain, the lad.
This is class from Warrington. Whether they've got the ball or they're defending. There's the Percival clash, tackle, body fling, and whether they've got the ball or they're defending, Warrington Wolves are on it tonight, and St Helens can't get nowhere near the Wolves.
Sitaleki Akwala in his 3rd season with the Warrington club.
Hold on, Jack.
He got just 12 minutes of the game against Wigan last week. By the look of things, get a bit more game time here today. Here's Ben Curry now. Had a big game against Wigan as well. He goes about his work so quietly, Ben Curry, but he was the top tackler. Now then, 20 metres out. Bang in front of those posts, Akwala again. I wonder if they might be sizing up 1 point here.
I was just thinking that.
Ian Proctor was just thinking that as well. And Austin will do it. Blake Austin does exactly that.
You could see him setting up for it, couldn't you, Blake Austin? he just turned the ball back inside him. He's looking at the clock, seeing how long's left, nice and composed, giving himself a bit of time. Saints probably weren't expecting him to go for the 1 point, but this takes it out now to 3 scores that Saints have to score, so it puts more pressure on them in the second half.
Matt Davis did his best to put everybody off, didn't he? Hit the deck and then almost blocked it. Ended up in the way of the replacement forward, Matt Davis, but they'll go in 13-0 up, Warrington Wolves, and full value for it.
Not giving much away there, Steve Price, but he must be very satisfied with that first half performance from his side. They have met fire with fire. It was a real toe-to-toe contest for the first half hour. Not a chance to be seen, really. Darrell Clark had one ruled out and then eventually found a way through on 31 minutes. He and his teammates just having a final word before they head to the dressing room. Tom Lynham added a second, and with Ratchford chipping in a couple of goals, and that Blake Austin drop goal right on the stroke of half-time. A very satisfactory for the Warrington Wolves, satisfactory first half, I should say, for the Warrington Wolves, but they can expect some response from the Saints in the second half.
Welcome back to the Halliwell Jones Stadium in Warrington's round 2 of the Betfred Super League, and we've got an eye-catching half-time scoreline. Not so much the 13 points scored by the Warrington Wolves, but the fact that the champions St Helens are, after the first 40 minutes, scoreless. Quite the defensive effort from Warrington. They've had the majority of the possession and are well worth this substantial half-time lead. Let's take you to the dressing rooms here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Studio guest is John Wilkin. You would imagine it'll be a quite comfortable Warrington Wolves dressing room, notwithstanding the fact they're playing against the best side in the competition.
Yeah, we predicted that they might offload the ball. As we see here, the stats in the corner show that up Lynham with 3, King with 3, and Mike Cooper, who always throws a few offloads in there. I think that created a bit of chaos and made it difficult for St Helens to defend, but ultimately I thought Warrington executed better with the ball. They retained possession more, and off the back of that probably didn't have to do as much defending as St Helens. And Darrell Clark looks so threatening near the line, and obviously picked up a try there.
Turned down for 1 try, scored the next. 13 offloads collectively to St Helens 2. You made a point before the game, you thought the best form of defence, as it were, against St Helens was to attack their threats in the middle, and we can see from the tackles made, that's what they've been doing.
Bentley, Thompson and Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook all doing big amounts of tackles in that first half, and Warrington, I think, through those offloads created a bit of intensity and ruck speed in the middle, and that tired out St Helens' middle. Too much defending equals tired players. St Helens did too much defending because they couldn't control the ball.
Okay, we'll get more of your thoughts shortly. Let's go to John Wells for a wrap-up of that first 40 minutes. John.
Thanks very much, Brian. Yeah, and it was a really full-blooded first 40 minutes as well. Let's take a recap of the major events then. And it started without Alex Walmsley, but that didn't mean there was any less intensity between these two forward packs. Some real forceful, full-blooded challenges, the last of which led to the first 2 points of the game. That came from Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Ratchford put them 2-0 ahead after 18 minutes. Darrell Clark barged over from close range on 25 minutes. That one adjudged to be held up, but 5 minutes later, the other side of the field, following a fall-off from Jack Ashworth there, finds himself the wrong side of the ball. A clean pick-up, and that's not the sort of ruck you want to defend with Darrell Clark against you. 6 points to 0. Tom Lynham was the eventual beneficiary from a steepling kick from Stephen Ratchford. Tap back from Ben Curry. Nice hands from Ratchford. He gets that out to Toby King, who puts Tom Lynham over in the corner. Still some work to do here, and the big, powerful winger does that. 12-0. Blake Austin with almost the final act of the first 40 minutes with a 13-metre drop goal. 13 points to 0. John Wilkins said in studio about St Helens doing an awful lot of defending. Have a look at this from the Warrington Wolves. Around the 20-minute mark, but it paints a really good picture of what they're doing to the opposition. Really hard line here from Clark. And I want you to have a look at what's happening off the ball, what defenders are having to do because of this. Take Lou McCarthy-Scarsbrook and Matty Lees as 2 examples. As they go back now, there's a shift play on. Steph Ratchford's the first player, and they're going to look to shift the ball to a different point, something they've done incredibly well. Easily the more creative of the two teams, and this is the sort of area now they're looking at, so they'll get rid of some line speed. They'll maybe get a reasonably quick play the ball off the back of that. They do through Matty Ashton. Have a look here. this is what Blake Austin's now looking at. And the two guys I picked up in that St Helens defence, Matty Lees and McCarthy Scarsbrook, they've become a little detached from one another. They're not facing the play the ball. There'll be no line speed here off the back of that. Now, this does eventually end in an error. It's Cooper who pulls in, but if you're prepared to stick to a game plan like this, where you are moving a defence around and you're prepared to carry on chancing your arm with the offloads, then you are gonna, with risk attached, create more opportunities. I think that's a big reason why they are as comfortably in the lead as they are at half-time, Brian.
Thanks very much, John. We did say Warrington would get plenty out of defeat against the Wigan Warriors. They've carried that style of play into this round 2 game. They need a win. They need a Super League win, considering the way they fell off a cliff at the end of 2019. I mean, they're halfway to it. How does this second half unfold?
I don't think they need a win. I think when you look at a longer sort of time period, you know, they need to sort of get that form turned around. But I thought they played very well last week. Had Chris Hill not been sent off, I thought they were in the shout of winning the game. I think Warrington have been exceptional in that first half. I think they really executed well. They moved Saints around. John Wells was right. They really made the St Helens defence work and be accountable for a full half. And that got the worst out of St Helens. They started becoming sloppy, made errors, and that's a vicious cycle. And you've got to break that. The challenge for St Helens and Christian Wolff is, can he break that with the half-time?
No Wormsley, obviously, that's quite a blow for St Helens. Still a side out there capable of, they would say, matching and beating the Warrington Wolves. How do they drag themselves back into this game? Because they're out of it at the moment.
They're out of it. I suppose Alex Wormsley makes a massive difference. Is it in Greek mythology where Samson had his haircut and he lost all his power? It looks as though Saints have lost all their power. And I know we've got one new team in Super League with the Jones Wolfpack. To me, it looks like we've got 2 new teams, because this Warrington side are unrecognisable from the team that finished 2019. They've been fantastic, fast, attractive rugby, risk-taking and brilliant to watch.
OK, we praised Johnny Lomax when the going was good against Salford. How does Johnny Lomax manage his side back into this team? What in particular does he have to do?
Well, they need a fair share of the ball to start with, and they need a fair share of the ball in the right parts of the field, and that's just not happening. When Johnny Lomax gets in the right areas of the field, he'll get more joy. St Helens, I believe, need to just focus on a little bit of subtle movement, retain the strength of carry through Thompson and through Lees, but a little bit of subtle movement around that to open up a short side for Johnny Lomax, for Theo Fage. I think that's the way to get back in the game, but ultimately they've got to hold the ball.
Good evening so far for everybody wearing a Warrington Wolves jersey, and that includes, of course, the comedian Adam Hills, who is part of the half-time entertainment here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, took on the Warrington Flyer, who beat Stuart Pearce amongst others last year. Well, as they rounded the post, healthy lead for Adam Hills. The Flyer, I can tell you, was unable to reel in the comedian. That is a wonderful effort from a man who has been wonderful in his support of the Warrington Wolves Physical Disability Rugby League side, indeed the Warrington Wolves club in general, and the game of rugby league. Congratulations to Adam Hills, commiserations to the Wire Flyer. There's 40 more minutes of Betfred Super League action ahead here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. The Warrington Wolves with a 13-0 lead over the Super League champions St Helens. What have Christian Wolff and the Saints got in reply? Bill and the boys, the other side of this break.
Coming up on Sky Sports, live cricket action from South Africa. It's the second one-day international between South Africa and England, and it's on Sky Sports Cricket from 10:30 tomorrow morning. Can England come back after that humbling in the first one-day international at the hands of the South Africans? Find out tomorrow. Sky Sports Cricket, 10:30 a.m. Find out what's going to happen in this enthralling game in the second half, because Warrington lead by 13 points to 0 after dominating against a side that is usually their nemesis, St Helens. Warrington have lost each of their last 4 home meetings with the Saints. They've won just 4 of 34 at home in Super League against the Saints since 1996. But they have a great opportunity to build on this 13-0 lead and to record a rare win against their big rivals. Second half coming up. Just a word about Adam Hills. We saw him take on the Wire Flyer at half-time, take on and beat the Wire Flyer at half-time. And the comedian is to be, I mean, it's a great effort Got the train up from London. He arrived in Warrington at 7:15. He came out, did 2 laps of the pitch. He's on his way back to London at 9:20, and he's probably going to miss a cracking second half here.
He is a good man, Adam Hills, and I know for a fact that he does that week in, week out to train with his beloved PDRL team. The Warrington Wolves do it really well here. Sean Briscoe heavily involved in a lot of that stuff, so well done, Adam Hills. I've had the pleasure of playing against him, Adam Hills, and he's no slouch, let me tell you.
So Warrington ahead by 13 points to 0. And Saints, remember, they suffered a setback even before a ball had been kicked, with Alex Walmsley pulling out just before kick-off with what we think is a calf injury. That's certainly unsettled things. They'd already lost Lachlan Coote. And Warrington in possession with Anthony Gelling. There's a Saints player down on the deck in the meantime.
It's Mark Percival again. The first effort that he's gone in to try and effect that tackle, he's come on second best.
Austin's kick bounces, and it's Nagama. No, it wasn't Nagama who got it. Still on the last, and eventually it's the turnover. Matt Davies couldn't do anything with the ball. Percival, I don't think, is going to be able to take any further part in this game, because the physio is on. Percival came out for the second half. Remember, he got that bang from tackling Ben Murdoch-Masila. Well, this looks possibly like a different problem. But Percival is leaving the field. That's another thing for Jenna Brooks to catch up with. We can hear from Jenna on the sidelines now.
Thanks, Bill. It certainly has been a busy first half. Spoke to Christian Wolf. He said discipline is a big problem, which he said was the same issue last week. He said if they can stick to the game plan, he's confident that they can get back into it. An update on Alex Walmsley. He has torn his calf. They don't know the exact extent of it yet, but it doesn't look good. Steve Price said positive first half. They just need to cut out the errors, start well, defend well, and they can win the game.
Well, they're in the ascendancy at the moment, but they're on the defensive, and the ball is with Wellesby, and that's another error from Saints.
They don't look comfortable, do they, St Helens? Percival has had to leave the field. That means that probably Zeb Taylor, Peru will have to shuffle one defensive place further to the sideline. Theophars takes it to the line, and it hits. Is it Jack Wells? Bit. And just, oh, it's Batchelor, I think. Batchelor who comes onto the field for St Helens. Maybe a replacement for Percival. They're going to have to shuffle things around. Completely disjointed now, Saints.
Yeah, you're right. It is Joe Batchelor who's out there. He got the late call when Walmsley dropped out. So, and also, it is a very young Saints side out there now.
Well, it looks like Joe Batchelor's playing on the right-hand side. Zeb Taylor's gone over to the left-hand side. So we'll be there with Dominic Peru in the centre, covering for Mark Percival. Look, they've still got the tools to do the job, but the attitude from Warrington has been first class.
This has been a determined Warrington performance. Akawala hit that pass from Austin at pace.
A rare mistake from Blake Austin. Tries to take a short ball, going behind the play. The ball thinks there's some space. There he is, putting the shoulder into Zeb Taylor.
So, Saints just inside their own half. And now here's Luke Thompson. He's going to have to take on quite a prominent role now, isn't he? With firstly Walmsley off the field, but these youngsters as well, they'll be looking to, there is Alex Walmsley, they'll be looking to the senior players to show them the way here in difficult circumstances.
They'd love those three players, wouldn't they? Morgan Knowles, Kyle Aymore, all on the sideline.
Fage, neat kick, well taken by Maddie Ashton. Under pressure.
Yeah, well, Theo Fage looked to hit him straight away. What's the defence like here for Saints? They've got them trapped where they want them. Got to make sure that they work. They don't give a penalty away for not being squared at the play of the ball or getting off the line too quick. Oh, Warrington looked to shift the ball.
Oh, Ratchford, nice step. Gets the pass away, does well there, gets it to Clark, I think.
And that's why you want Stefan Ratchford around the ball. Causes so many problems wherever he is on the field.
Sitaleki Akwala now.
I know I've talked about those Warrington offloads a lot. They've got 15 so far. But what it does is it puts you under pressure 15 times.
40-20.
You think you've made the tackle, that's an excellent kick.
Not quite there.
Not quite there. So you think you've made the tackle on 15 occasions. St Helens think the tackle is effective, think they can get back and set that defensive line, but they've got to jump back in. He's had a commanding role this evening, hasn't it? We saw him make a mistake, but for me, he's completely controlled this game. He's showed energy and enthusiasm when he's had to defend, and his teammates have followed his fabulous example.
Head and feed then to Saints. 30 metres out from their own try line. Bentley, remember there's no James Roby as well. They are missing now some influential figures, aren't they? Makinson absent, Roby absent, Wormsley got 2 tries in round 1, absent.
It's a massive amount of your salary cap that's on the sidelines for them.
Luke Thompson, last season with Saints before he heads down under to the NRL. How do you think he'll go?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I think he's the best in the world at his position.
I think he'll do a great job. Be a sad loss to Saints in Super League, but as usual, we'll wish him all the best.
Seb Taylor manages to get the pass away. Dominic Peyrou it is who's tackled. Now Joseph Paulo is on the field. That's the 5th tackle.
Akwala, he's the wrong side of play. The ball has a little push.
Do you know, I think he's outdone by it. I think Bentley, when he's getting up, he pushes him in the back, which pushes him into Paulo. The penalty should have gone the other way.
It's clumsy, isn't it? Clumsily by Akwala. He's the wrong side of play. The ball has to be careful.
So it's a Saints penalty, and for the first time in quite a while, it seems, they've got Warrington in retreat, and Saints have an opportunity maybe to examine this Warrington defence.
They need to post some points pretty soon here. So it's just building confidence, because this Warrington side are building.
This Warrington are looking confident. I wouldn't be too confident with that man charging towards me, Luke Thompson. Bentley's pass to Theo Fage. Fage, though, hesitant. Then takes Ashton and Darryl Clark on. Clark makes sure that the French international can't go anywhere. It's Lomax now. Lomax. Welsby cuts back in field. Little kick from Welsby. He'll chase it himself. And Ashton covers across, but can't get out of trouble.
Well, good play from Jack Welsby. He's the man who kicks the ball. He knows the speed from Matty Ashton. Kicks it on the 4th play. Manages to evade those Warrington defenders who were trying to cover the fullback, getting out of trouble. Look at that. Nice footwork, nice skill, nice weight on the ball, and a good tackle.
Don't you just love it? The 2 young bucks, one from St Helens. Jack Welsby dabs that ball through the line, challenges Jack Welsby. And the 2 exciting young kids having a nice little duel there. Good on them.
First goal line dropout of the night. Warrington have chanced their arm and have gone for the short kick-off, and they've conceded possession very close to their own try line.
Well, they made that into a contest and give themselves a chance to get the ball. Unfortunately, it's not come off, so they must defend the line.
Joseph Paulo plays the ball. Jack Ashworth now runs into the clutches of Warrington's defenders, and Mike Cooper strips off some of the latest strapping to be applied to his forehead. Here's Thompson now. Matt Davis in to make the tackle with Ben Murdoch-Masila. Bentley, very efficient, keeping it simple again. Fage behind Lomax. Lomax, lovely ball to Nagama. Nagama surely will go in. No! What defence!
Stefan Ratchford. Well, he's not playing in fullback, but he comes up with a fullback tackle, doesn't he? You think that Saints are going to score that. It was a brilliant ball over the top. I think it was Johnny Lomax that hits the Guama. But Stefan Ratchford, the man that's so dependable for this Warrington club.
His reaction when he makes that tackle, he's on the floor, his back's backs on the floor. He knows he's done his job, and he punches the air in delight. He's still clapping himself.
Well, he got support from his teammates as well. It was a group effort here.
You've got to back yourself, Bill, and this is what Warrington are doing this year in defence. They go for the short kick-off, they don't get it, they know they've then got to defend, and the defence like that, and their attitude to defend the try line and not let their opponents cross it, well, that's there for all to see.
There is Stefan Ratchford, 31 years of age now, over 350 career appearances, and such experience and intelligence he brings to this Warrington side.
Big tackle from Dom Peru on the young fullback. He jolted him. There he is again, getting stuck in. Peru and Zebte are both on the left side.
Ball's batted down. Thompson trying to set off at a rate of knots, dreaming of a half the length of the field try, but he's called back by the referee's whistle.
You're right, Bill. Understandably, Warrington taking a look at this edge now. This left edge from Warrington. Zebte bats that ball out of the possession of Darrell Clark, but he's definitely going towards that side. Warrington thinking that Zebte, Dom Peru, both back rowers by trade, who began their careers as centres, might be a touch vulnerable.
So Warrington's head and feed. The Saints fans trying to lift their side. Championes, the cry coming from our left. 2,500 Saints fans maybe here tonight. Oh, he's done it again. He's left Ashworth, I think it was, on his backside.
He is enormous. What a steamroller.
No wonder the New Zealand Warriors want him back in the NRL, and Warrington get the penalty.
Well, we saw it last week, didn't we? George Burgess, he run over to score a try. Gets rid of Ashworth. Ashworth must be 6'5", 6'6", 18.5 stone.
You've got to bend your back with that big man is in front of you, and Warrington Wolves choosing to tap the ball. They sniff a try here, the Wolves.
Yeah, they could have gone for two, but they've decided to really try and hammer home the advantage they have at the moment. They are dominating this contest. And here is Ben Murdoch-Masila. Now it's with Matt Davis. Blake Austin's pass, and Davis reversing towards that Saints line. Struggling to get to his feet. Clark scanning the options. Goes to his left. It's with Ratchford. Short ball from Ratchford. Finds Ben Curry. Four men in there to make the tackle for the Saints. Ratchford pointing the way. Goes in the opposite direction. Philbin now. Good defence from Saints so far to keep the Wolves at bay, but here's Blake Austin. Little grubber kick, nobody on the same wavelength, but Warrington are gonna get the ball back.
Well, we saw that Stefan Ratchford was pointing at a Saints player, and he was pointing at that man, Jack Wellesby. That's called bullying for me. He's 18 years of age. He's saying to Warrington players, look, let's target him. He's a fabulous player. The Saints fullback, the number 22. He's got some speed. And you can see the clever kick from Austin putting pressure on the youngster, but it comes up trumps.
He's also saying that it's the other side of the play the ball. If we shift, we might find some space. And luckily for St Helens, Jack Wellesby makes it there, but only just. Pressure, pressure, pressure being applied by the Wolves.
Too much pressure in Saints' way of thinking. Charnley struggling to get to his feet. He and young Bentley have a little bit of a disagreement after the ball had gone. The referee tells him to get on with it. Matt Davis, Cooper, Austin, Ben Murdoch-Masila this time. Beautiful ball moving. Charnley will go in, and Warrington are hammering home their advantage. It's Warrington's night, and the Wolves supporters jubilant, because they are on top against St Helens, and that hasn't happened very often in recent history. They better make the most of it. And Charnley has increased Warrington's tally with his first try of this new season.
Well, he's got some speed, Josh Charnley, but you have a little look at the attention that Ben Murdoch-Masila gets from the Saints defenders. He's got dummy runners that's on his outside shoulder, leaves some space out wide, but there's a lot of panic if you're the Saints playing and you see someone like Ben Murdoch-Masila running out wide, targeting those smaller players, and nice hands as well from Matty Ashton to deliver the pass to Josh Charlie.
This is just precision from start to finish. You see Lee Breers at the side of his head coach, Steve Price, punch in the air because he knows that that play has been practiced, perfected on the training pitch. They start at the scrum line, everybody in the correct position. A delicate pass from Ben Murdoch-Masila, who invites players towards him. Perun Teya come towards the big man. Lovely pass, and the numbers and the overload and space is there for Josh Charlie.
Ratchford landed a difficult conversion with his last kick. This one's a tricky one. Not quite as far out as the last one he succeeded with. And Ratchford to extend Warrington's lead. The Warrington supporters revelling in this. He's missed with that one. They're 17-0 ahead. Plenty of time for Saints to turn this around. But let's go down to the sidelines, get more news from Jenna.
Yeah, you saw Mark Percival come off. He has a chest injury. I spoke to the physio. They haven't completely ruled him out of this game yet. He still may come back on, but he is a little bit sore.
Mark Percival in the wars.
It's just perfect, isn't it? Ben Murdoch-Masila, everybody expecting him to run over the top, as we see a break from the Wolves again.
Leading on while, yes, Charnley has made yards up the middle of the field. And they really are piling on the pressure now, Warrington. They set a big night for the club, one that their supporters would really enjoy, because they have taken so much stick at the hands of St Helens and their supporters. To be able to put one over on them tonight would be very, very satisfying.
There's only 55 minutes gone on the clock, but before the match, there was a tremendous atmosphere. Adam Hills, and the half-time entertainment was quality. Full stadium, great atmosphere. Well done, the Wolves.
Nice kick from Austin, good chase, but good response from Grace to get out of trouble. But Saints are going to have to get out of trouble. Can you see them getting out of trouble?
They're struggling. Like I said before, that they have got players that will trouble Warrington, but the attitude from Warrington over the opening 2 rounds has been absolutely first class. The way that they're defending, how nice and compressed they are. There's nowhere for Saints to go. If they try and play outside of them, they're probably going to force themselves into making an error, because they're pushing from the inside and pressuring the ball player.
2016 was the last time St Helens were nilled in a game, and that was at Wigan when they went down 25-0.
That's a terrific defensive set there. The ball is bouncing on the 40-metre line. St Helens made somewhere between 25 and 30 metres on the ball there, because of the intensity that Warrington have got in defence, because of the energy that allows them to be that intense in defence. Completely dominant in this game at this phase.
Lynham will play the ball. Lynham once of Hull FC, his former club, up against Hull Kingston Rovers tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock. Sky Sports Arena for the Hull derby. Can't wait. I really can't wait. That is going to be such a big night. This whole side brimming with confidence. Tony Smith's Hull Kingston Rovers side brimming with confidence after their round 1 win.
Be another full stadium. Another terrific atmosphere as we see the Wolves make a mistake.
No, knock on.
Luther Burrell it is, who has only just got on the field, offloading that ball, trying to find an offload to impress Stuart Pearce.
He'll be enjoying this contest. Luther Burrell, the former England rugby union man, just on the field. Couldn't take that pass.
No, Gelling and Luther Burrell and Stuart Pearce, incidentally, will be at a Rob Burrow gala dinner tomorrow evening over at Headingley. Everybody's showing their support for the little fella. Josh Warrington, Gareth Southgate, the Brownlee brothers, should be a fantastic night.
Barry McDermott.
That's what drags it allegedly. The last one.
Saints on the halfway line. They trail 17-0. Aaron Smith is on. Can he spark things for the Saints, because they need a spark. They need something from Lomax. Lomax, Zebtea, that combination worked well against Salford last week. Almost worked there. Warrington in defensive mode. Joseph Paulo on to Fage. Fage to Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, 10 metres out, fifth tackle. Fage just there at the bottom of the picture. Fage with a little dink into the corner. Difficult one, but Toby Kick is equal to the challenge.
They can't find that space to break Warrington down. The energy that they're showing with and without the ball. The kick here goes up. King gets it. He's powered back over the line. It will be another set 6. We saw before that their attitude to go for the short kick-off or the drop-out, saying, yeah, well, do you know what? You go, you get the ball back on your 10, we'll defend our line. And Stephen Ratchford come up that brilliant tackle in the corner.
Well handled by Toby King. Terry and I were talking about him at half-time. He does most things in rugby league incredibly well as they go to get the ball back again.
Penalty, and they've got it. Not only that, they've got the penalty as well, because Matty Ashton was just on the point of gathering that short restart, and he was hauled down by Bentley, I think it was.
Yeah, well, if you're going to receive the ball from a dropout, you're not expecting teams to go short. They go went short on the right-hand side. They dropped it over just over the 10. Bentley panics a bit because he sees the speedster Ashton trying to get around him. But all the Saints plays, you've got to cover 50 metres of the field. So it's a great kicking game and game plan that's working for Warrington.
If you notice what goes on in Australia and you're aware of the Walker brothers, they have a philosophy, the Walker brothers, over at Ipswich Chess, that every restart, every controlled restart is a chance to get the ball back. And they view the game as time in possession, not so much about metres and territory. I'm not saying that Warrington are playing that way, but it's an interesting way to look at the game.
Ben Curry then with the charge from the resultant penalty. Here is Philbin in the middle of the field. A posse of St Helens players bring him down. And then it's another penalty to Warrington. There's a hand in there.
Is that the third or fourth penalty that he's gained for his side from carrying the ball hard? Look at him. Every time he gets the ball, he fights for every metre that he earns.
Louis bewildered by that decision, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, but it's cost Saints more territory, and then McCarthy-Scarsbrook is quickly up in defence. But Warrington buzzing at the moment with confidence, with energy. Philbin burst through the first tackle.
Came out a long way, Matty Lees then. Missed that tackle.
Here is Blake Austin now. Austin, tackled by Zebtea. Down the short side they go. Luther Burrell, he's still going. Dragged down just short of the try line. Blake Austin will kick cross field. They'll climb for it. It's batted down. It's going to be Warrington's possession again.
Well, they are building pressure, aren't they? The strong work that Steve Price's side are doing. Matty Costello. He's targeted here by Austin. There's good numbers from Warrington. Look at all those shirts around. And you can see that Matty Costello gets it wrong. You can see Nguama gets it wrong. But the kicking game, well, that's certainly been spot on from Warrington.
At the back end of sets, everything's a contest. At the start of sets, whether they're kicking the ball off. A couple of times they've had to drop the ball out. Creative, inventive, and good to watch.
Into the final quarter of this game. Here is Gelling now. The Warrington supporters enjoying this, dominating St Helens. Mike Cooper.
Oh, hands in the face from Cooper. Leeds return the favour.
Cooper plays the ball about 5 metres out. It's with Stephen Ratchford now. Over the top, too far
Too
over
ambitious.
the top.
Yeah, too ambitious, wasn't it? It was like the point of an arrow then, that attacking line from them. And you had the players that were pushing up, and a couple of support players on the inside, but then he throws the long ball over the top. Again, looking at what Nguama's doing, he's got one eye on his teammates, on his shoulder, but he's also got one eye on what Saints defenders are doing.
It looks wild, doesn't it, from Ratchford, but what he's doing by doing that humped pass, it's in the air longer, obviously, from A to B, straight line, it's only going to be a fraction of a second. He tries to buy his winger a bit of time, but wasn't quite as accurate as he wanted.
I said that Warrington have lost each of their last 4 home meeting with Saints, but they are in actual fact the last side to beat St Helens, and that was at Wembley in the Challenge Cup final. So they're looking for back-to-back wins. Saints, though, they are not out of this yet.
Darryl Clark gets up. 31st defensive effort by Darryl Clark. Hits him around the knees, and then it's Jason Clark, same name, no relation, with hands on, buying his side a bit of time. The referee saying, come on, mate, think about it.
Saints won't want, at the very least, to be nilled on enemy territory. They've still got time to turn this around, but they need some inspiration. They're about 12 metres out as Joseph Paulo plays the ball, and it's Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Can he provide a bit of a spark to get the Saints driving forward? Well, they're that close. Aaron Smith. Theophage ducks under, almost burrowed his way through Theophage, and there's a penalty. There's a penalty to Saints. Warrington were offside.
And Blake Austin just stood in an offside position then and penalised by the referee. Another set for Saints to attack here.
There's a Warrington player down in back play.
Is it Jason Clark? Jason Clark, look at him. Barry talked about him before, how he mops up, he comes across, closes things down. Just checking how his shoulder is.
Clark seems as though he's okay to continue. The thumbs up. Thumbs up given by the physio. Clark continues, Saints continue, the penalty, and Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook makes inroads into that Warrington defence. They're right on their own try line. Here's Theophage now. Bentley hounded down.
Didn't want that, Bentley. Didn't want that. The better pass was probably the one out the back, but he's done well to keep hold of possession.
That's another penalty. Warrington again.
Well, they're a warning as well now, Bill. Repeat penalties, and the ref doesn't like it.
Warrington in trouble. They are defending desperately now. For the first time in the game, really, they're on the back foot. And Saints, can they capitalise here? It's with Zebtea, tries to straighten it up. Luther Burrell down low. Blake Austin assisting. Aaron Smith, Joseph Paulo now. He'll have a go for the line. Couple of metres out. Smith. It's with Theophage. Lomax now, quickly on by Lomax, and it'll reach Kevin Nagama. Chip ahead, but it's Ben Curry who snaps the ball up, and Warrington bring it away.
Well, they're not having any joy, are they? They're covering everything. There was a problem with Luther Burrell when he went down over on the right side, and Saints now are a team that are desperate. They're flying out the line. They're trying the chip over the top from the Fijian captain. Again going for the big shot, Matty Lees. You've got to make sure they keep the composure here.
Saints desperate now to just disrupt Warrington, to just try and wrest the grip of this game away.
They haven't handled the offloads. They haven't handled the periods of pressure. What a performance. What a performance from Warrington Wolves. And you're right, Bill. Everything they can to try and disrupt this game. They're trying.
It's on now.
Matty Lees and Mike Cooper have been at it for about 5 minutes.
It's frustration creeping in. Well, not just creeping in, it's frustration from the Saints.
Well, Matty Lees does not take... Well, he doesn't take losing. I'm not saying his side have lost just yet, but they've been behind for large parts of this game. There you go. He's had a tug at the headband. He's pushed him on the floor, and Darryl Clark's come in as well.
Well, Darryl Clark takes exception, first of all, to the swinging arm, doesn't he? Then is the push, then is the tug of the strap. You can see him, like, cocking one. And that's why Darryl Clark comes in to protect his teammate who's got hold of the ball, can't really defend himself. Once he pushes him away, Delacroix said, it's finished now. It's finished.
What's up, mate?
I think he might be going
Yeah,
and having a little
Warrington.
rest, Matty Lees. He's been aggressive for the last 5 or 6 minutes, as you can see. A few scuffs and scrapes.
Yeah.
Mike Cooper and him have been at it for 5 minutes, going toe-to-toe.
Chris Kendall's taken advice from his fellow officials. He's walking ominously back towards the players. He's calling out the captains on the field. Well, Stefan Ratchford
Johnny!
is one of them. Who's he calling out as well? Johnny Lomax.
Right, lads, the initial penalty is going to Warrington for contact with the head. We get any more of that up, lads are going to be sat down. Is that clear? Is that clear? Penalty.
Yeah.
So it's the penalty to the Warrington Wolves.
I'm happy with that. He's dealt with that well, hasn't he? I'm happy with that. It's not as if one player is completely picking on the other. Those two players have been at it.
Yeah.
Two bulls, not prepared to give an inch. And Matty Lees probably just needs to get on with the game now. 12 minutes or so left.
That is no way to treat a long-serving member of the Warrington side. Mike Cooper is celebrating his testimonial, and he does have a big gala dinner coming up on Saturday, February the 22nd, at the Fir Grove Hotel in Warrington. So I said I'd mention that for you.
I hope he's cleaned up a bit. He's got a bit of a shiner coming up there, hasn't he? Like Barry said, him and Matty Lees have been going at each other. And the reputation that Cooper's got, along with Chris Hill, who's not made this game today, and the young lads have got to rise to it, haven't they?
Mike Cooper, in the close season, changed his diet. He initially was vegan. He went down that road, discovered he was losing a bit too much weight, so he's a pescatarian now. And he says it has made a massive difference in his energy levels and everything.
You're looking at two blokes that are on seafood diets here.
Luther Burrell, vegan. Anthony Mullally, I think, vegan.
As I said,
Barry
we're on
McDermott.
seafood diets.
I might give it a try, Bill.
I don't think I will.
Wait there.
Stefan Ratchford then from just inside the Saints half to extend Warrington's lead after that spat. Has Ratchford got the distance? He has. Took a while for the flags to go up, but Ratchford is on target again. 19-0, Warrington lead. Steve Price, a happy man on the evidence so far.
Yeah, looking a bit more relaxed. Lee Bray's Gareth Widdop just sat behind him. The marquee signing that they've got over here. They wanted to back in a couple of weeks, and that just takes the sting out of the game, doesn't it, for a couple of seconds. Gareth Widdop really enjoying this game. Would love to be out there and been a part of it.
What do you think of Breezy's beard?
Nice. Suits him.
Not sure. Not sure, Breezy.
Saints have got the ball back. They have from the restart. Bit of a scramble. Referee Chris Kendall had a good look at it. Matty Lees, though, came up with the ball. Coming up to 70 minutes. And Warrington, 19-0 ahead. Oh, Matty Lees, did he knock that on? It very much looked like it, but he got the benefit of the doubt. And Saints have got the territory. They've got the opportunity now. 2 tackles gone. 10 metres out is Farge. Matty Lees again, getting the boos of the Warrington supporters. Runs into Philbin and Clark. Jason Clark, that is. Aaron Smith. On the charge is Dominic Peru, but he is stopped just short. That's the 5th tackle. Aaron Smith's pass finds Theo Farge. Farge will put a kick over the top. They're all chasing it. Regan Grace couldn't get to it. And Charlie it is who manages to just get the ball away from the Welsh winger.
Best period, isn't it, for St Helens in this second half? A little forceful, deliberate kick. Trying to get Regan Grace and a duel with Josh Charnley. And Charnley's just good enough.
Josh Charnley, prolific try scorer, but it's his defensive effort that's been noticeable tonight. well, defensive across the board from Warrington. Massive effort. We saw it really, the evidence of that against Wigan.
Yeah, they said before they were courageous, weren't they? Down on numbers, but they still were in with a chance of winning that game.
But Aaron Smith with a good weaving run. Saints looking to at least get points on the board so that they're not nilled here tonight. Farge, quick hands, very quick hands. It finds Grace, who has to cut back in field. Bobbing and weaving, Regan Grace still going, trying to duck under the challenge. Eventually Warrington get a hold of him. About 8 metres out. Long ball finds Farge. Farge to Zeb Taylor. Taylor finds the offload. Luke Thompson driving for the line, but Warrington driving him back. Stray pass finds Jack Welsby, but Welsby is hounded down by Tom Lynham.
Again, this is down to pressure from Warrington's defence.
On the last now, Dominic Peyroux, Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, Zeb Taylor, they're running it on the last, but the ball's still alive. It's with Lomax. Lomax, can he conjure something? Puts a little kick in, and it's batted again over the dead ball line by Josh Charnley.
Well, some more pressure there for Saints, but the reaction to work hard when the ball's gone away from you, when your defenders around you have committed to the wrong man who's attacking, but you still manage to get there and close it down. Danny Walker, bit of a problem with him, just onto the pitch.
What a lineup that is. The Saints injured players, James Roby, Lachlan Coots, Alex Walmsley there. They'll be wondering whether they can get any of them fit for that game. St Helens against the Sydney Roosters, the World Club Challenge, coming up Saturday, February the 22nd, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena.
Well, fingers crossed that the medical staff can do some decent work to get them on the field for that big game for the Super League club.
So the goal line dropouts. The Saints have managed to force a couple of those. Farge has lost the ball. It's picked up by Warrington. And that possibly to encapsulate Saints' game tonight. When they have had possession, they've not been able to really maximise the opportunity.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. Approach, Kristen Wolf and Eben Annis, the chairman, will be disappointed. 4 goal line dropouts that they've forced, not been able to capitalise on the field position that they've gained from those dropouts, those repeat sets. Not had anything.
Akawala, good run. It's a long time, a week in rugby league. Last week they were flying. 8 tries against Salford. Imperious.
But in terms of Warrington, Bill, you've said it a number of times, the signs were there, the togetherness were there for Warrington Wolves to certainly have a go at this performance tonight. Stuck together, been precise when they've needed to be.
It's Austin who just drills that one into touch.
He's been good tonight. Blake Austin, the spine for me. Matty Ashton when he's had time on the ball. Stephen Ratchford, I can think back to the corner when he made that try-saving tackle against Kevin Nguama. Blake Austin, he's control of this game, and Darryl Clark scoring the first try. The spine has really stood up, but 1-17, they've all played well, Warrington Wolves.
Next up for Warrington, it's a trip to Wakefield Sunday week. Then they have Toronto at home here. Next up for St Helens, Hull FC away on February the 16th, Sunday week. It's going to be a big game as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if Hull just hypothesising here, Rovers supporters, just imagine if Hull won tomorrow to make it 2 from 2.
I've said
enormous.
Before a ball was kicked, I think it's going to be a special year for the black and white of Hull.
Well, the Robins might have something to say about that tomorrow night. You can see it on Sky Sports. Here's Luke Thompson. Missing his front row partner tonight, Alex Walmsley. And that obviously upsets Saints. Right coming as it did, literally seconds before the the kickoff.
I don't think they played any of this game with any cohesion and continuity.
Farge hoists the kick. Ashton is underneath it, and he's done well again.
A very mature performance, hasn't it?
He's solid at the back, isn't he? He's so exciting. Right, he's brave. Look at him. He's not bothered about who's in front of him. His job's to catch that ball. They get a penalty on the back of it.
Gelling earns that penalty. It's been a much improved performance from Anthony Gelling, a player I really enjoy watching and listening to, for that matter. A big character within the game.
So Warrington heading for only their 5th win in 35 home Super League meetings with the Saints. No wonder it's being rapturously received. It is a rarity. Here's Jason Clark now. It's been an all-round, Ben Curry it was, an all-round performance from this Warrington side across the field.
They've been absolutely brilliant. And they go to kick the ball on the first play down that short side. King looks to just get it through the line. And the challenge youngster Jack Wellsby at the back. Doesn't come off, but more defending for them.
This will be St Helens' first defeat in Super League since July the 21st last year, when it was the London Broncos who beat them. It was an understrength Saints side that day. That was the last time Saints tasted defeat in Super League.
I've just realised who Lee Brayers looks like with that beard. Brian Blessed. Just realised.
Glad he's not as loud as Brian Blessed.
Gordon's alive! There he is.
He can smile, can't he?
He's Captain Birdseye, really.
Brian Blessed.
Johnny Lomax and a little kick ahead, and it's Ashton who takes the sensible option.
Well, the 5th goal line drop out here now for Saints. Can they come up with some points off the back of it? Nice attacking shape for them. The only way that they're going to break this Warrington side down is by kicking it behind them and kicking it through the defensive line.
Am I being too tough there? I want him to run that. A young man with Warrington players around him, primrose and blue shirts, all communicating with him. Doesn't matter, the clock will start again.
Well, this time they go for a more conventional goal line dropout, and it's Farge who picks it up on the halfway line, and Luke Thompson winds himself up for another tilt, but is driven back. Good defence once more. Toby King in there, Sitaleki Akawala. Joseph Paulo now does get the offload away. It's Matty Lees. Lees brought down by Jason Clark. Can Saints at least break their duck? Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, about 12 metres out, he's tackled. Aaron Smith, Thea Farge now, Farge little dummy, and Lomax, can he get the ball down? I think he's held up. It's going to be a late call for the video ref, James Child. What does Chris Kendall reckon? He thinks it's a try. Wow. He thinks the Saints have managed to avoid a whitewash.
Look at those fans behind the sticks. They are fuming. What a feather in the cap it would be for Warrington Wolves to keep St Helens scoreless. Johnny Lomax gets over the line. 2 or 3 defenders around him. Matty Ashton. Does he get that ball down? Stephen Ratchford again. Blake Austin again. Well, I don't think that's the best angle to make a decision. It's gone up as a try. We're not going to see it. Here might tell us a different story. Right arm carry. It's not on the ground. It's up. It's up. It's up.
This is desperate defence, isn't it?
I'm going to say they've done a wonderful job again, Warrington.
There it is.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that you're defending a 19-point lead. You think that there's everything to play for in this play. Look at them. Matty Ashton, Blake Austin, Stephen Ratchford round the back. Johnny Lomax, for me, was held up as he managed to get it down. Well, he's held up, I agree with with the ball for you. He's held up. He's held up there. Still held up. The effort, the players lending the way. Davis over the top. Just where's that ball? I want to pull it up. I just think this is fabulous defence. Fabulous defence from Warrington.
James Child is the video ref. Warrington defending their line desperately, determined to deny St Helens a try to keep them on nil, and they've done it.
Bill, did you see the reaction then from Tom Lynham? Like, he went to the teammates and they're all congratulating each other. It's absolutely brilliant. That is what you call attitude. That is what you call the emotion of playing the game. Both sides of the ball.
Team spirit as well. Lynham, Ratchford. And to keep the ball up. Look at the celebrations here.
Look at it, Tom Lynham there.
Well, they're not out of the woods yet, the Saints, because there are a couple of tackles left. Rather, Warrington out of the woods, because Saints have a couple of tackles left, and on the last now. And can Lomax come up with something? No, because he runs into Luther Burrell's challenge, and that'll be the turnover. And Warrington jubilant. How sweet this is going to be.
Well, Warrington, again, just answering all those questions. The atmosphere there has been absolutely brilliant. Steve Price done a tremendous job, but also the Warrington CEO, Carl Fitzpatrick, he thinks outside the box. When you come here, you're going to be entertained, and I do believe that he's helped transform this club. Earlier this week, he went down to London to meet the head of marketing for the UFC. He's spent time with LA Lakers, spent time over in America, seeing how you can market the game. Done an amazing job.
Warrington, having lost their round one game against the Wigan Warriors, just seconds away now from getting their season underway with a win against their great rivals, the Saints, who've inflicted so much punishment on them over the years, a lot of it on this ground. And here they are, turning the tables on the champions. It's a champion side that is shorn of so many first-choice players, and you've got to take that into account.
Yeah, well, Saints, they've still pushed them up. Blake Austin and his teammates. It's their night tonight, isn't it?
Austin applauds. The Wire fans applaud. Jubilation among the coaches and on the pitch and in the stands. For the Saints supporters, dejection and disappointment. But as mentioned, it's a Saints side that was disrupted just before the kick-off with Walmsley's withdrawal, and the young guns have had to shoulder the burden in the absence of so many star names. Well, they ran into a Warrington side, a wolf pack on this occasion that really was fierce.
Well, the Warrington Wolves, on the back of good committed defence, high energy, high output, they took Christian Wolf's side on in the middle. First 15 or 20 minutes of the arm wrestle, it was neck and neck, set for set, but slowly the game started to tilt towards Steve Price and his side.